Hey everyone, thanks for trying out this Office 365 pilot. Since it's a pilot and we're working with our current email system and the VDI, some things won't be quite perfect. So I just wanted to thank you in advance for your patience. And now I will walk you through a little bit of what you can expect to see and play with Office 365. So the first thing you'll do is go to portal.office.com and sign into your account. So Grant will send you your username and password for you to log in. Right now, I'm using one that I just created on my own. So my email address says on Microsoft, but yours shouldn't. So you type in your password. And then you're in. So to navigate around, you can use this blue box with these small squares at any time to get to all of the different apps that are available. If you have a PC, you can skip this installing Office. It might not even show up. I have a Mac and some of you have Macs, and I highly recommend installing it if you have a Mac because this software, this version of it, is way more advanced and easier to use than Office 2011, which was the only option for Mac users before. But if you're on a PC, you can see if that shows up, and if it does, see what happens when you install it, but no need to play with that at this point. So to get around, you can click on Mail, which will take you to your email. So what Grant and Devin have done is created email accounts for us that everything that goes into your Athlos email will also go into this account. So you won't miss any emails and you'll always have a record of all the emails you've received. But you can use this to email each other. The other participants in the pilot are all on that email list that went out with this link. And see what happens when you send a new email if you can jump right into video chat or instant message with each other. That is a function of Office 365. I think it should be available on the Outlook Online. It may only be available on Outlook on your desktop, but that would be one thing that we would play around with and see if it's possible. Another thing that you will do or want to do is check out either Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or OneNote, and then try sharing what you create with other people. So OneNote is a note-taking application like Evernote or there's a bunch of other ones. But anyway, OneNote is a pretty good one. And I've been using it since I've started at Athlos, and I like it. It has some great benefits and some limitations, but overall it's pretty neat. So we'll jump into OneNote so I can show you. And from OneNote, you can create basically an online notebook or binder, and it will have different sections. So let's just call this Athlos test. And create a new page. We'll call this Office 365. So you can create a notebook or a note, and after, if you type up your meeting notes or something like that, and then you want to share it with the people who are at the meeting, you can just click share and type in the people's email addresses that you want to share your OneNote page with. And this is pretty neat to do both in OneNote Online and on the OneNote application that you can download to your actual desktop. So you can play around with that. There are a couple other features. OneDrive is basically Microsoft's version of Google Drive. And here's where all your documents would get saved, including your notebooks. And you could click on a document and then share it with anybody you want to. The same sort of window pops up. There's other programs that you might be interested in, such as Delve, which is kind of like a way to research and get the latest news updated. You have a news feed as well. There's Sites, which is a way to create kind of teams working together and create store all of your work for that team. There's Sway, which I know Jen Thompson has already jumped into using, and then of course the Office suite. So play around with all of that. The last piece I wanted to show you is going to be back in that main screen. And what I wanted you to do is try to download Skype for Business. So it may be possible, it may not be possible. So I wanted to see what you can do with this trial. So you go to the settings button, you go to Office 365 settings, and then go to software and Skype for Business and install. So see if that's possible for you on your machine. And then if you can get it downloaded, try using Skype for Business. You can try to Skype with me or with anyone else in the trial and see how it works. And that would be, I think, a good starting place right now for our Office 365 trial. There's definitely more you can do, but for our purposes, I just wanted to get a sense to see if folks who've used Google like this or Google Better, and folks who haven't file shared to see if that option is appealing. So thanks so much, everybody, and I'll be in touch after a little while with a little survey to see how you've all enjoyed this. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.